On the day we arrived in India, we were picked up by a driver, hired by the organizer of the adventure. The car was packed with the luggage of those who had arrived before us, so they sat the two of us in the front on a single seat. The living conditions in some areas are quite poor, but despite that, you don't get the feeling that the people are suffering. On the contrary, they're happy to see tourists and will always greet you with a smile. When I arrived at the meeting point with the rest of the team, I was surprised to see how many of us there were. At first I thought we would be a small group, but it turns out that at the last moment, more people joined from different countries. As a woman, I was given the chance to choose my motorcycle. All of them were quite worn out and had various issues, although it seemed like there were many options. That's exactly why we were accompanied by a skilled mechanic who drove the support vehicle. In that car were also two girls who were part of the trip only as passengers. But sometimes there were also our cameramen or our photographers. Our first stop was at the police station, where each of us was registered individually and given a permit to travel as part of an organized group. After many hours of riding motorcycles on rough roads and through rather unfriendly weather, including stretches of rain and fog, we finally reached our first stop, the village of Lathau, located in Namsai district in the northeastern part of India, in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. This region borders Bhutan, China, Tibet, and Myanmar, and is known for its stunning mountain landscapes and rich cultural diversity. There, we were warmly welcomed by our guide's friends, who kindly hosted us and lit a large fire around which we all gathered. They grilled beef and chicken skewers, served with warm rice on plates made of bamboo leaves. And of course, their traditional homemade drink wasn't missing. The atmosphere was relaxed and friendly, because another very important aspect was the consideration given to the two team members who were vegetarians. Our guide and hosts made sure that, when the food was prepared, there were also vegetable-based dishes available, so that they could enjoy the meal just as much as the rest of the group. The next day, we had a very early wake-up, I think around 5:30 a.m. Considering we had gone to bed at around 2 in the morning, we had to hurry because we had a very long journey ahead of us. Our first stop was at a local place, where we could grab a quick breakfast, consisting of tea and small meat-filled pastries, which are always served hot and are highly appreciated by the locals. I tried to get used to the local flavors, but it was quite difficult for me. What was even harder to accept was seeing cows roaming freely through the streets, eating from the trash. These are ownerless animals, about the size of a slightly taller dog, and although they don't belong to anyone, they are respected by the locals. Still, they contribute to the mess by rummaging through the bins in front of every eatery. It was quite surprising to see that this cow chose to eat from the trash, refusing both the pastry and the apple I kept trying to offer her. The reason we were in a hurry was the long journey to the Namdapha Tiger Reserve. From there, we had to get the necessary permit to enter the reserve. The location is in the Changlang district, in the Miao area, covers an area of approximately 1,185 square kilometers. Namdapha is considered a biodiversity hotspot in the eastern Himalayan region. Shortly after entering the reserve, we reached the first police checkpoint. There you could enjoy freshly fried pastries along with milk coffee loaded with sugar, the perfect combo to recharge and continue the journey to the next stop. I had no idea what the jungle journey would be like. Otherwise, I would have had a lot more coffee and sugar. We ended up in an extremely muddy area, where a lot of experience was needed to cross the slippery, silt-filled terrain. While I found it quite intimidating, the men in the group seemed thrilled and were enjoying the experience to the fullest. Even though my experience and years of riding a motorcycle told me I could handle that section on my own, I chose to let one of the more experienced riders take over and decided to go through that part in the car instead. The rain hadn't stopped, and the temperature didn't go above 15 deg, which made everything even more challenging.
do you like it?
Good. That is okay.
I think
Like heavy. This is the post effect, huh?
Even though we were all covered in mud up to our necks, and some weren't prepared at all with rain gear, everything was sorted out at the first waterfall we came across after the muddy stretch. There, everyone washed their clothes, helmets, and visors, which had gotten so dirty you couldn't see anything through them anymore.
Where did you guys come?
Washing machine. You are the least damaged, Rakesh. You are the least damaged.
After the whole muddy experience, we got back on the road and reached the first viewpoint. Unfortunately, we could only stay for about 5 minutes, as we still had a long way to go before reaching the area where we would set up camp. The view was breathtaking, and it was truly worth stopping for a few minutes to admire. Such a beautiful landscape of the mountains and the river, the Namdapha River, which flows gracefully through the Namdapha region in Arunachal Pradesh, stretching over approximately 160 kilometers. This river winds through dense tropical forests and dramatic valleys, adding even more magic to the already stunning scenery.
Don't listen to me, just ride. Don't think too much. You'll manage.
We were continuing our journey, which remained quite challenging, toward our next stop. And even though we were passing through a tiger reserve, we didn't encounter any tigers. But at one point we did come across an elephant and its mahout, calmly making their way through the forest, path in a truly unexpected and majestic sight. This journey through the jungle was incredibly enchanting, as we passed by many waterfalls along the way, some small, others majestic, each offering breathtaking views. After many hours of riding through the jungle, we finally reached our first stop, where we were served a homemade lunch prepared by our gracious hosts. There, we also met all the members of their family, a large group with many children who were overjoyed by even the smallest. Gifts we brought, sweets bought from the city. The Miao village serves as the main gateway to the park and is a small, picturesque town situated on the banks of the Noadihing River.
Let me see the baby. Hello. Hello very much.
We have the same distance to go back now. It's exact same distance.
Tomorrow. Ayah!
The food was extraordinary, especially to the taste of our teammates from India, as the meal consisted of a potato and chicken dish, an extremely spicy cabbage salad, which I couldn't eat, rice served in a bamboo leaf, and boiled eggs. And the village of Miao. Traditional homes often follow a simple yet functional architectural style that reflects the community's way of life. The kitchen is typically located in the same room, where the family also sleeps and gathers, creating a warm, multi-purpose living space. At the heart of this room is a central open hearth, which serves not only for cooking but also as a source of heat during cold nights and a gathering point for family conversations. The waterfall is approximately 100 meters high and is fed by the Nuranang River, which originates from the northern slopes of the Sela Pass. After cascading down, the river flows into the Tawang River. The name Nuranang comes from a local girl of the Monpa tribe named Nura, who helped an Indian soldier during the Sino-Indian War of 1962. After a long time of walking, though not covering many kilometers, we stopped at an unexpected point. A makeshift campsite set up in an open field near the river. Each person had their own tent, and once we settled in, we all gathered around the warmth of the fire. Chunks of bamboo were burning in the flames, making strange crackling sounds, almost like small explosions.
Prima noapte în cort. Cum prezis bubuștuc?
De filmare, mă pusesem în profilul meu. Mă simt în cort. Ca un căcat.
Ca un căcat?
A fost care a stat în ploaie. Am dăduit. Nu mai știam ce să fac. Mi-am pus asta. Bă, voiam să... La un moment dat m-am gândit că mă culc direct pe podea și că trag asta pe mine. Deci, prima și ultima.
Prima și ultima.
Nu mai vreau așa ceva.
Arătăm ca un cur. Am supraviețuit.
The next morning, each of us washed our motorcycle by riding it through the river, preparing for the new day ahead. Our first stop was planned at kilometer 0 in the village of Vijayanagar. Unfortunately, on the way there, in an attempt to identify a technical issue with one of the bikes, our mechanic lost control and crashed into the river. The incident caused panic within the group as the accident was quite serious. He was immediately taken to the village hospital, where he received medical attention, including stitches and further checkups.
He's got a sense of humor.
Just show him. Because he was thinking that I'm coming here for beautiful men. No. For this. This is what I was doing. Jesus, be careful there.
What the fuck? Trebuie să vă arăt ceva. Uite-i. Uite-i. Oi.
The next stop was at Jungle Camp, where I was surprised to find that the location looked truly amazing. However, the interior of the rooms was quite basic. For example, the beds didn't have proper mattresses, making them extremely uncomfortable to sleep on. The food was simple, consisting of the same dish, rice with chicken and cabbage salad, each day. Because the rental motorcycles are very old and heavily worn, nearly every day one of them breaks down. However, that didn't discourage us. For instance, the next morning we had to stop in town to visit a mechanic and fix a clutch problem on one of the bikes.
Vedem ce probleme au.
Exactly.
You switch that then. You switch to the Himalaya that you are.
After following the Lohit River for nearly 20 km into the Mishmi, hills of Arunachal Pradesh, the road turned into a true test of endurance. Boulders, deep pits, and sheer cliffs were one thing. But the real danger came from the massive rocks crashing down from above. Every turn was a gamble, every kilometer a battle, but the raw beauty and wild silence of this place made it all worth it.
Oi, hello. Hello, Beverly. Hello, mi cuzzole. Oi, 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 oi. Oi.
Given these rivers, we have so when we do rafting, we do 6-7 days rafting in the river.
Rafting on this one.
Yeah, we do this and yesterday's river. And you have a lot of these sand beaches where you camp. Before time.
Ofta, Nika, you'll manung taxista. You'll manung taxist.
Now,
Hi Gabby, do you know me? Are you having fun? Bye!
so much.
From here, the road was quite peaceful, without animals or potholes like on the previous routes. I really enjoyed it and had fun playing with the motorcycle, even though it had developed a problem. At every turn, it would jump into neutral, making it quite difficult to handle. After just a few more kilometers, we were back on roads where animals roam freely, completely calm and used to the traffic around them. What amazed me the most was that I didn't see a single injured animal, which shows just how used to them people are here. After what felt like an endlessly long and exhausting road, we had to stop for some tea and a quick bite in Miao, East Siang. What I didn't know was that, at 180 meters tall, I had become quite the attraction. People stared at me in fascination, took photos for minutes on end. I honestly felt like an alien.
Bravo, Bu!
Correct. Exactly. I was like thinking, why does this? I don't know why I vaguely remember that one of this not you laid out let us make sure, but those roads were like really messed up.
The next day, I woke up very early because the mountain road we had to take was announced to be closed, starting at 10 a.m. They were going to blast the road to widen it enough for two-way traffic. That meant we had to wake up at 4 in the morning and head out toward Machuca, our final destination. Since it was breakfast time, we stopped in the town of Tato to eat. Each of us picked a spot. Some chose a place with a view, others settled into one of the local restaurants. As you can see, the restaurant is incredibly small and simple but full of people. On this little balcony, you can spot the dishwashing area, and this right here is the kitchen. Which has no furniture at all, so cooking happens right on the floor. During this trip, I was extra careful with food, so most of the time I stuck to sealed instant noodle cups. Their hospitality is truly incredible, and I think there have been very few places where I was welcomed with so much positivity and such genuinely wide smiles. Here you can see the two drivers of the truck that carried our luggage, and on the right, our guide.
हाँ चलो हाँ मैच खत्म नहीं हुआ है
Just a few minutes later, I had to stop to film these two little piglets. I don't even know why, but they just seemed incredibly cute to me. At this point, I was completely exhausted, and the massage I got felt absolutely divine. We had stopped by the side of the road for a cup of tea in the Siang Payum area, and honestly, it was the perfect little break. The air was crisp, the mountains towered silently around us, and there was something incredibly calming about the simplicity of that moment, just tea, peace, and the wild beauty of the landscape. We finally arrived in Menchuka, a remote village, tucked away in the mountains of northeast India, right near the border with China. It's a peaceful place, almost untouched by tourism, mostly because it's so hard to reach. There's barely any phone signal, no internet connection, and very little outside communication. That's exactly what makes it feel like a hidden gem, a place where time slows down and nature still reigns. That evening, I promised everyone I would cook a traditional Romanian meal, so I made eggplant salad, Romanian style. It wasn't easy, especially working in a kitchen where the most important thing was keeping the fire alive by blowing air through a metal pipe, straight into the flames, but it turned out to be a night to remember. We danced until morning, and by the end we were all completely exhausted.
Election time, don't give up. When pay water, whiskey, I go by. Which train? Assami. Hey, Ulfa. Hey,
The next day, we began our long journey back, and I'll let the images speak for themselves. Riding through India, especially through its chaotic cities, is a full-on adventure. If I once thought I was an experienced motorbike rider, after thousands of kilometers on these roads, I can now say I've officially leveled up to pro. This was the only moment where I really could have hit the asphalt. But honestly, I think I got lucky. One second I was on the road, the next I was skidding straight into gravel. The roads are absolutely crazy, unpredictable, bumpy, and full of surprises at every turn. This kind of traffic is actually completely normal. And believe me, it can get 3 times worse. There are no traffic signs, no crosswalks, and no marked lanes. Everyone just drives however they want. That evening we gathered again, listened to music, and danced to some Romanian tunes, even if they probably didn't love the music as much as I did. At least they didn't stop dancing. One thing I just can't understand is why all the cows seem to prefer lying on the scorching, hot asphalt instead of the nice, cool grass. Makes no sense to me. And that was, in a nutshell, my journey through India. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll definitely be back with more adventures soon. If there's anything specific you'd like to know about this trip, feel free to leave me a comment below.